Hello everyone, I'm Tracy Grows Design, and today I really needed to redo my soldering wire nest because I've torched it. So I thought I'd do a little bit video on it because it's super simple and a lot cheaper to make on your own than to buy in the store. I'm all about making any tools that I can, and this is one of them. So let me get set up and we'll get started. A nest is used for soldering, and you would put your piece on top of the nest if you don't want to melt your bezel, and in cases where you want to heat the piece from underneath. In this case, I have that decorative beaded wire on there, so I don't want to melt that. And I have melted it before, and it just kind of gets brittle and falls apart sometimes. I don't know what's up with that stuff. But in this case, I would want to heat from beneath. So I would bring the nest as close to the edge of my soldering block as I could, and then torch from below. And that heats the back of the piece rather than heating from the top, where you could risk melting your bezel. Okay, so I'm all set up. I've got everything I need. It looks all neat and tidy, as if Martha Stewart was here in my studio. But let me show you. Martha Stewart is not here. It is a mess. Martha Stewart went home. So anyway, what you're going to need today to do this, it's super quick and super simple. 19 gauge dark annealed steel wire. I like the 19 gauge. You might go up a gauge or two, but I like the 19 gauge. And you'll need something to wrap this around to make a coil. You could use a X-Acto knife. I like this. You probably don't have one of these. This is a bead mandrel made for lampwork beads, and this is 1/2 inch. I like the 1/2 inch size. So if you have a wooden dowel that's a 1/2 inch, or anything that's around a 1/2 inch or 5/8, that should work. And you need your sacrificial pliers. Don't throw away all your junky pliers, because someday you're gonna need them to cut things that will ruin your flush cutters. And cutting steel wire will ruin your good flush cutters. So this is my old torched nest that I need to replace, and this is my new one. So this is what we're going to be making today, and they'll save you a lot of money in the long run. So cut yourself a piece of the steel wire about 30 inches long, and we'll begin to coil this around the mandrel or your wooden dowel or whatever it is. Leave yourself a tail for leverage. I like to put it over, throw my thumb over it, and then just begin wrapping. And this is gonna be kind of hard to do under the camera here like this, but I'll do the best I can. Now I've got my coil. Take it off your mandrel, and then you just want to kind of spread it apart a little bit. Like I said, it didn't have to be neat because we're gonna do that anyway. All right, and then this is the easy part. You're just gonna take this around and make a ring, and fold it over. So you're gonna overlap those coils so that you're kind of pushing them into one another. And then you just have to finagle this around. I might have gone too far in. And then take one of these ends and wrap it around another part of the coil once or twice, and that'll hold it together. Okay, and I'll do the other side. You don't even have to, it'll hold, but I don't want that thing in my way. So I'm just gonna wrap it around. There you go. And then you just may need to finagle it a little bit. This is another pair of sacrificial pliers. There. And I'll just shape that up a little bit. And now you've got a perfect little nest to put your back plates on to solder. This works great with a butane torch, this kind of wire, but if you're, I was using a Smith Little torch, oxypropane, and totally, like, you'll burn that up in a hot second with a torch that hot. So this is great if you're using a butane torch. It's also great to have 2 of these. Sometimes I'll even, if I have a larger piece, I'll put these together like this and then be able to set that up right on my bench block or on my soldering block. So I hope that helps you. Like and subscribe, and that helps me out a whole lot. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.